Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us again, tuning in live. If you are tuning in live, and if you're just tuning in after the fact, thanks for watching. This is the Business Savvy Makeup Artist webinar series, and we are back again tonight. My name is Jacqueline Menconi, and I am a makeup artist in New Jersey for TV, commercial, and bridal. And we have Leigh Raeder here, as always. Leigh.
Hi, everybody. I'm actually in Wisconsin, and I've been in the cosmetology industry for a couple decades at this point. And thanks for tuning in. Jacqueline and I, this is our 16th episode. We have been interviewing amazing professionals from so far all over our country, but we wouldn't mind branching out too to other countries. So make sure you continue to join us. But today I want to introduce Jessi Jewel, and she is a professional makeup artist and body painter. And she has a booming bridal business as well, and she's currently the lead artist and instructor at Transformations Makeup Institute in Sacramento, California. I am so excited to have you on, Jessi.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I've been following you for a long time, so I'm just so glad that you can be here with us, and I can't wait for you to share all of your knowledge and your story with everybody. So thank you for joining us. But, you know,
you're welcome.
Thank you. How did you get started in the makeup industry?
How I got started really was I didn't plan on it. I did not at all. What I had stumbled upon was a friend of mine had asked me, you know, do you want to be a model for this hairstylist? She's doing a hair show and she needs some models, but you just have to be open to having her cut your hair however she wants. And I was like, okay, that sounds like fun. And so when we were at the show, they had the makeup artist there that started doing my makeup, and I just got so taken back by it. And I was so fascinated. And so I right away, right then and there, I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to do this, what you're doing. And then she had kept asking me to help out and join in on all the fashion shows that she was doing after that. And I just said yes to everything. You know, I didn't care about being paid. I just wanted the experience so bad, and I wanted to get out there in the real world and get the experience. So I was so pumped on it. So I just kept saying yes, 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 yes to every opportunity that I could get. And then following that, from that same hairstylist, I got this free ticket to an all-day education seminar in Sacramento at this really well-known building called the Masonic Temple. And that was where I first saw Transformations doing a makeup demo. And I was like, oh my God, because there was no makeup education in Sacramento. There's none anywhere. And I was looking for it. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And so I loved what they did. And that's how I started taking my first classes. And I took the same class 3 times, actually, when I first was a student with Transformations, because I wanted to get it that bad. You know, I know that repetition is everything. So taking the same class 3 times, I always got something different out of it every time, even though you're taking the same class. And so it just went on from there. And then I kept taking every intern opportunity, and then I just kept getting asked to, okay, maybe do you want to assist on teaching this class? And it just went on from there, you know. So I just feel like always say yes to everything at first. I mean, have an open mind, because even if you think you might not be getting anything out of it, you do, because that's when you don't expect it.
Yeah, I love that.
That was how I got into it.
Wow. So, okay, this is such a great, you've said a couple of really great little things here, and I would love for you to expand on what you started to say. And when you started saying, you know, you would take oh yeah, you can do that on camera, girlfriend. Actually, let's take a break.
Oh, I can? Okay, I didn't want to be bad.
Lady, let's take a cheers break. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Okay, I didn't know if I was being bad sipping on camera.
Cheers to you at home. Thanks for watching. So, Jessi, you started mentioning, you know, you took every opportunity that you possibly could, wherever you could intern, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that we usually have a lot of we have people from all levels of experience that watch our webinars. But I know we have a lot of aspiring makeup artists as well, or people just beginning their professional career. So what would your advice be to them? Because maybe they don't know where to start, or maybe, you know, maybe they have some sort of assumption of work that might be supposed to come their way, or I don't know. What would your advice be to people just starting out?
Exactly what my advice would be is always say yes to everything, and don't ever think that you immediately have to be paid for everything that you do. And not that saying being paid is a bad thing. Of course it is. We all love to be paid. We all love to make money. But when you're first starting out, it's not about being paid. You have to get the skill and the education in your hands first before the money comes. So I just feel like always say yes to every opportunity. Even if you just get the chance to go and clean somebody's brushes that you idolize, the whole time you're cleaning somebody's brushes, you can watch what they're doing. That's like a class right there. I mean, even though it's visual, you can learn so much from watching people and assisting, and always just take every opportunity that you can, you know, because you have to get the experience somehow. And it always starts from there. I mean, when I was first starting out, I was so psyched if somebody asked me to be a model for them, because especially when the artist is doing something on you, you can feel their pressure. You can feel exactly where they're placing the product, what brush they're using. It's like you can absorb so much information from that. So that's my biggest advice. Just be open-minded, say yes to everything, and don't worry about the money at first, because that will come with time. And as you build your skill and professional.
That is so true, because you can't rush that, you know, experience. And, you know, I was thinking about that the other day. You just have to go through the process, and you can't do it without shadowing people and observing them and, you know, letting them mentor you and taking their advice and cleaning their brushes and assisting them in any way. So, like, that's so true. And I think that all of us, we were talking recently about that, we all had that in common, where we would rearrange our schedule to be there to help whoever, you know. And honestly, like, I think no matter how long you're in the industry, I still learn, and I still love watching people, because everybody does things different.
I love learning new things. That's one of my things. I still, because, you know, the industry is always changing all the time. So why would you not want to learn all the time? Because the second you get something down, there's something new out.
You got it.
So, but that's what makes it so exciting too, because it's never the same.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Leigh, do you have your next question?
Yeah. Actually, I would love to know. So it sounds like you just knew. I mean, once you were in that, you know, spot, you're like, oh my gosh, I know that this is what I want to do. And it all sort of fell into place as far as the school. And, you know, you said that you took the class 3 times because you kept on learning from that. So, and then you kind of eventually transitioned into helping her teach. So how did you, I mean, was that a natural transition for you as well? Did it just seem right? And were you nervous, or, you know, how did that come about?
Of the teaching aspect?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I was so nervous at first. The very first demo that I ever did was at a Paul Mitchell school in front of about 150 students, and absolutely I was nervous. You have to, you know that term, fake it till you make it? Right. I was so nervous inside, but you just have to, you know, take a deep breath and just really focus on what you're doing. But, absolutely, everybody's nervous the first time they do something. It's not, you know, I would think that it's unnatural not to be nervous your first time. So, but it's just doing it. So you have to do the work. And now, I mean, we can get up and do demos with our eyes closed in front of 200 people because we've done it 100 times. But, the first time you do it, it is so nerve-wracking because all these eyes are on you. staring at every single move that you do, and so that's nerve-wracking. But it was, I'd probably say after starting to do that, I was nervous for, I'd say at least the first 10 to even 15 times of doing it. And then after, you just get used to it, you know. But while you're nervous, you just have to learn to have that poker face on, because when people can see that you're nervous, it kind of can get to you, you know. So you just have to learn to keep your focus on what you're doing and don't let your nerves take a hold of you.
Yeah.
And it feels good once you go through and get it done, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
that's
rewarding.
awesome.
And so once you get past that first time of doing it and you get finished with that, and then all the students are clapping and everything, then it's like, wow, you have such a sense of such a rewarding feeling knowing that you did it and you were very scared about it. But that's something you have to do, things that make you scared, or else how are you going to get past it?
You know what, you're exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right. And, you know, I'm looking at the attendee list right now, Jessi, and I'm seeing Ginger Wong's name there. And
Hi,
so
Ginger. Hi, Ginger.
Give her a shout out real quick.
Lady.
Yeah, so Ginger is Jessi's mentor. And, you know, we're actually going to have Ginger on February 1st. Yes. So we're so excited to have her coming on. And I just saw her name, so
cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Cheers to
don't need to, yeah.
Cheers to that.
I'm excited
so
about that.
I just wanted to give her
so
a shout out. We're very, very pumped to have you on, Ginger. And to have your protege on tonight is like so incredible. So with that said, let's see, what should our next question be? I feel like I want to hear more about the type of makeup that you do, that you specialize in right now. Has your career as an artist kind of like transitioned at all through the years from when you first started applying makeup? Have you noticed a transition in the type of makeup that you typically do? I know you are very heavy into bridal. You do everyday beauty, and you're also a body painter. Like, give us an idea of the work that you do and kind of like where you started and where you're at now.
I feel like when I started, I had a very similar mindset as a lot of other beginning makeup artists, you know, because the really fun, crazy avant-garde makeup is what draws you into it. But in reality, but in reality, that's all so fun and absolutely inspiring, and you can just let your artistic juices flow. But when it comes down to really making a serious income in the makeup industry, the everyday beauty and bridal is always going to be your biggest source of income. But it's not just that transitioned me, because when I started, that's really all I wanted to do, because I was always a very artistic kid. So the artistic makeup is what I loved and just drew me into the whole world. But once you start doing the everyday women's makeup and brides and just enhancing somebody and making them look better but still like themselves, and seeing it's the clients that changed what I wanted to do in makeup. Because when you start seeing their reactions and how amazing you make them feel, and then the money that starts coming in, of course, but that's really it. So now I really love working with real women and doing everyday makeup and bridal versus the crazy stuff, because really every single woman on planet Earth wants to look like themselves, but better, correct? So why not capitalize on the biggest market that you can get and, you know, just kind of hit it hard. That's really what I wanted to do. And not just on a certain person, you know. I feel like so many new and coming artists in this world, they don't immediately go to tackle all types of people, because what is not like the person or the skin tone or the ethnicity that is not like their own, it can tend to intimidate you at first, because you don't know what to do, you know, because it's so far unlike your own. And so I feel like that is, I lost my train of thought.
No, it's true. It's true.
But I just feel like that's the most important thing, is really do the everyday beauty, make people beautiful, but also don't, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pigeonhole?
Yeah, like don't secure yourself to just one market. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody wants to look beautiful, so that means everybody, meaning every ethnicity and women that are 60, 70, 80, mature women. It's an amazing market to get into, and those are the ones that will pay you the big bucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just say that they do.
That's so true. That's so true, and that's really my forte and my market, and that's my passion. Is just, you know, the same thing, working with everyday women and just teaching them how they can achieve natural looks or just jazz up their skin a little or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be this full-blown transformation into somebody else, because in reality, women do want to look like themselves, just enhanced a little bit. And so I love that, and I feel like it's been transitioning into that. I think a lot of women are getting tired of seeing just photoshopped everything and airbrushed and filtered, and you know, people are like, I want to see real women with wrinkles around their eyes and laugh lines and, you know, problem skin. And, you know, so I applaud you for that, because I think that that's real, and I'm all about real women. So
I'm all about real. I'm all about real. And that's one thing that always strikes my mind. It's like, you know, all these makeup fads come and go. And like right now, the big eyebrow fad, the big Instagram fade eyebrows. It's like, really, when it comes to the everyday woman, nobody asks for that, because it always goes back to the classic makeup, enhancing somebody and making them look like themselves but better, not changing who they are.
Yeah. And that's truly an art. It really is an art. So I think that's great. So I guess my question is going to sort of go off of that. So how do you market yourself, or how do you get your name out there, and how do you get the women to find you and come to you? Do you have specific things or many things that you do? Tell us about that.
I have a few different things. First of all, you as a professional, you have to get out there. You can't just sit back behind your computer and think that social media is going to get you the best clients. So that's my number one thing I'll say, is it's so important to get out there. People get more drawn to you and your personality and your business when they, you know, they see you, they hear you, they talk to you. So going out there and getting those clients, first of all, and then when it comes to social media, absolutely, it does help your business. And I actually, believe it or not, over the last 3 to 4 years, besides word of mouth, the number one way that I have gotten new clients has been from Facebook. It really has. Facebook business has brought me so many new clients, believe it or not.
Great.
You know, so putting out little ads, you know, $5, $10 here, and seeing and targeting the people that you want your ads to go out to. It's a great way to get new people. But then when you're out there in the workforce, you know, anybody that you can come in contact with, get them in your chair, even if you offer them a free consultation at first, you know, just to get them to know you, because I know that your service and your skill is, of course, going to sell you, but you're the one that they are buying. You know, they have to like you.
Building that relationship is crucial.
Yeah.
Key.
Yes.
It's key.
Very.
I mean, you could be the absolute best makeup artist in your area, bar none the best. But if you have a crappy attitude and you're not fun to be around and people don't get along with you, guess what? You're not going to do very well. Eventually, people are going to not come to you anymore, and they're going to go to the person that's second or third best because they have a friendship with them. They have a relationship. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. So
it is.
Yeah, and we have a couple people that have already started typing in. And guys who are tuning in live, please do know that you can always write in any of your questions for any of us, really, during this whole entire time. But we have Finn coming in. She says, working with real women, love it. We need to do that and help people feel confident. And then Rosa says classic never dies, which is so true. That classic beauty, that classic look, it never dies. It's timeless. It's timeless. It's timeless. Yeah.
No matter what fads come and go, classic, it always comes back to classic.
You got that. You got that right. We actually do have a question that that I would love to ask you. So are you paying for Facebook ads? I find it hard to get much from Facebook. In-person networking works much better for me. So I think that, I mean, that could be a question for all of us, really. I know that, as Jessi said, I do the same thing that she does. I network in person, and I also do Facebook ads too. So, Leigh, do you feel that you do the same thing?
Okay, so what I do is I get almost all of my business through referral. And so I do a lot of makeup lessons. So I meet one-on-one with people. Sometimes 3 people come, you know, like mothers, daughters, you know, friends, whatever it is. And then what I use my social media for is to keep that relationship going. So I do a lot through private messages, just, you know, keeping in contact, following up with them. And so my philosophy is, and I teach this to a lot of salons that I work with, is you want to create those raving fans, or you want to market yourself so that they will think of you. If their friend comes to them and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, do you know anybody that can help my daughter? She's just starting to wear makeup. I want them to think of me. So I actually personally don't do a lot of Facebook ads just because I get so much business that way. And I also ask for the referral when I see them. I tell them, you know, I do all of my business through referral. So is there anybody that you know? And if so, please have them reach out to me. I did a couple campaigns this year, so people wanted to help with the campaigns where I was featuring real women, and I was posting their before and after picture and asking them if I could tag them so their network would see it. So I do a lot of that. So I really actually would like to maybe try doing ads, but I haven't really had to yet, because I do just that. I love that one-on-one interaction as well in person. But I think it can definitely still, you know, it's just another way, and you definitely want to always have different ways that you're exposing yourself and different ways of advertising. So go ahead, Jessica can answer what you do as well.
I think that going back to what you were saying too, it's never just one thing that brings you all the business. So like I said, Facebook ads, it did work great for me, and it still does, but it's a package of things. The Facebook brings you great new clients, referrals, getting out there, going to events, meeting that one person that walks into your salon or your business, because you never know who their friends are. I mean, even if it's an event that you think that you will get nothing out of, there could be one person in that crowd that you meet that could be the golden client, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a number of things. So the social media is great, but that's just a fraction of what brings you the business, you know. So it's never just one thing that brings it to you. I still will say it over and over again and stress it. The number one thing is getting out there. You have to get out there. You have to get the jobs. You have to get the clients. Don't think that they're going to just flock to you, because that's not how the world works. You got to get yourself out there.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's very true.
Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry, Leigh, were you going to go?
Well, I was just going to say, and honestly, when you do cater to the everyday woman, they are going to continue to come back to you. So it does become like a bigger relationship versus I do brides as well, but it's a totally sort of different thing, because it's harder to build that relationship unless they're local. I do a lot of out of town of where I live, but you know, so there are different audience, you know, that you want to target as well, because you don't want to focus on just the one thing. But that, I love that. So go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, no, that's okay. No, I agree. Wait, hold on one second. So what are, Rachel Jordan asks, what are some of the ways you like to get yourself out there to the everyday woman? So, Jessi, why don't you take that one? What are some of the ways that you get your name out there?
Really, it's in my work. I'll be out on a job, and yes, I may have one client in my chair, but in between that client, there could be 5 other people sitting there. So I'm going to approach everybody that's in my presence. Okay, I'm not afraid to approach people when I'm working and doing my thing. So I feel like when you are out there, that is the number one way that's going to bring you new people. And if you don't approach them, like I said, they're not going to just flock to you. So I feel like through my work and just getting out there and doing as many jobs as possible, you're being exposed to so many new people.
Yeah.
So take the opportunity of every single new person that gets in your presence and in your chair, you know?
I think that's brilliant, because so many people, they go get a service done, or I know sometimes when in the past when I've gotten my hair done, I'll sit in the chair and somebody will barely talk to me. They won't ask me questions about myself. They'll talk about themselves. I'll know about their family life. They'll know nothing about me.
Yeah,
they won't remember my name the next time I go, if I make an appointment to go another time. And that relationship is lost, because they lost it for me as a professional. They lost my business.
Yes.
And one thing
you
I
have to talk to
will
people.
say too. Another thing I will say too that has really brought really great outcome is also anybody that you can come in contact with and get their information, get their card and their information, contact them. If you meet somebody and maybe you're really focused on your client, you don't have the second to talk to them right then and there, at least get their card. Because what if somebody that you ran into that just happened to see you working, they are, a client that you really want, or somebody that you've really wanted to break into that market, like, for example, like the medical field or a doctor or whoever the person may be. Get their information and contact them, email them or call them. I normally just email, because I will follow up in an email. And if they don't answer you right away, okay, don't get discouraged by that, but you never know. Everything is timing. So let's say if they don't answer you right away, they might say, oh, I remember this person, and they'll get back to you. So that's another great way to do it. Don't think that you don't need to have their information too. Get other people's information, because that can be like gold when you come on the right client or the right person.
Yes, and oh my gosh, Jessi, can I just say that I love you so much for saying that? Because there are a few people that I see on the attendees list who have heard me say this a million times already. So, because there are a few people that I work with on another on a business level. And I tell them all the time that not only when they're working, when they're out at the grocery store, or when they're out, wherever they are, if they happen to strike up a conversation with somebody, they have to become a friend-making machine, right? They have to become a friend-making machine. So what happens is, let's just say you're at the grocery store, right? Which means that you can't be looking a mess, like a hot mess, wherever you go. Like, always look at least presentable. Always look at least presentable. I'm not saying like you have to have a full face of makeup and your hair blown out. That's not what I mean. But look presentable, like you wouldn't be embarrassed if somebody were to see you like that. And so that way you won't be embarrassed to see somebody that could be a potential client. And instead of, shying away from the possible opportunity to meet somebody new, you'll actually go for it. And so on that note, what I was going to say before I went into that spiel was that when you are in a conversation with somebody and they ask you for your card, you never have a card on you. That is my advice. You never have a card on you, even if you have 500 cards in your bag. And this is why. You'd be like, oh my gosh, I just ran out of cards. I'm so sorry. What's your information? And so that you get their information immediately. Whoever gets the information of the other person first is the winner of this game. Okay? Because then if you want, after you get their information, whether it's an email, a phone number, or you connect with them on social media or whatever it is, you now have the golden ticket, right? You have their information, because how many times have you as a person been given a card of somebody who offers any kind of services, even if you needed it at one point, but then you either lost the card, or
Throw it in the
you just
purse,
threw it in the purse, it got all junky,
Yeah.
you know, there's gum sticking on it, you don't know what's happening now. Or you're just like, okay, great, I don't really need it right now, so I'm going to toss it, right? You lost that game. So you need to get that person's information, and once you have it, if you really want to give them your card, you can then be like, oh, you know what? Let me just look real quick, just in case. Oh, I found one extra. Here you go. But you got their information first. I do this all the time. This is how I network. And this is just, unless I'm at an actual networking event where you have to have your card, this is how I network in like life scenarios. So that's what I would recommend to people. As Jessi said, always get their information so that you can have power and follow up. You don't want to wait for them to contact you.
Because unfortunately, in reality, when you give your card and only give your card. Oh, oops. Unmute. Can you hear me? I can't hear you guys now.
Unmute yourself.
Oh, there you go.
Jacqueline.
There you go. All right.
I still can't hear you, Jack.
Can you hear me?
Jacqueline, hit the microphone. Somebody must have hit. I can't hear you. Okay, there you are.
There you go. Right. I can hear you both now. I can hear you both now.
But what I wanted to add to that is you have to be approachable, and you have to smile at people. You have to be genuinely nice. And how many times do you go somewhere and people do not even look at the other person or smile, or, it's like, be friendly and be genuine about it. Don't be fake or whatever. But if you see someone that looks like she loves makeup, or, maybe you could help her in some kind of way, why not go up to her and just compliment something that is amazing about her and be like, oh my gosh, your eyes are beautiful. Like, what do you do to them? Or your eyelashes are so long, or whatever it is about them. And just start with a really genuine compliment, because women do not hear enough of that. And there's so many people that are insecure, and you can really make somebody's day in general just being, like, oh my gosh, like, you look so amazing, or maybe you want to fix something, but pick something that you think is amazing, because, like, honestly, there's always something you can find, and I think that goes really far.
I agree.
It does.
And really, what, Jessi, you had mentioned before, something that you had said was, now I have to think. You said something to the effect of you always have to get income from different areas, or something along those lines. I don't remember. I'm paraphrasing here. I don't remember exactly what you said. But I'd love for you to tell us, maybe expand on that a little bit. And we talk a lot in this webinar series on the importance of adding luxury services to your brand, and being able to offer like a full circle kind of service to your clients. And I know that, or I think at least that you do that. So I'd love for you to kind of expand on that and give us some insight as to what is important in your eyes that you offer to your clients, and just, any kind of information you'd like to give us.
Well, first of all, the most important thing I feel like that I can offer to the clients is first-class service. I know that might sound very basic, but it's amazing how many people in this world don't do that by either something as simple as they don't show up on time, they are flaky, they are not dressed the part and how they're supposed to look, they don't give them that first-class experience. You know, I just feel like every single client should be treated the same, and every single person should get the same service. And it's up to you. You know, everybody has a different field that they want to specialize in, and I mean like in the beauty industry. Because you can go so many different areas with beauty. You know, you can do makeup, you can do waxing, you can do custom blending, you know, products like that. And it's up to you what direction you want to go into. But number one is everybody should be treated the same. Every person should get the same experience and professionalism.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's all about how you make someone feel when it comes down to it. They're going to remember that more than maybe how you did their eyes. I mean, honestly, like, it's all about the experience that you give them and the way that you make them feel. They will keep coming back for that, for sure. I love hearing that.
And I think the way that you make them feel, too, can show in, for example, don't rush through your services. I feel like, yes, okay, speed is great, but somebody can clearly tell the difference between a rushed 30-minute makeup and a spot-on, classic, amazing 40-minute makeup, even though it's only 10 extra minutes. But you can clearly tell. I mean, speed is great, but don't make the speed compensate for the quality. Okay, always want to make sure the quality is there. Quality is always going to be remembered more than your speed.
Right.
That's just my personal thing, but I really
agree.
feel strongly about that.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. And in fact, I know, you know, there are a lot of makeup artists for bridal specifically, right, that I know that you're heavily involved with. We all are. But, you know, for bridal especially, you know, like, we can all do makeup in 30 minutes, right? Like, we all could do that. I know that for me, in my contracts, I leave 45 to 60 minutes per person because I like to breathe. I like the client to breathe. And I like to be able to sanitize in between people and clean brushes and all of that.
Right.
And they don't feel rushed. They know ahead of time when they book me that this is going to be the timeline. That's it. And if we need to hire an additional makeup artist for them to get everybody done, then we do. But this is the luxury service that is provided, and this is the time frame that it's provided in. Now, if you can do that in 30 minutes, then that's phenomenal. Great for you. But I know if I'm doing it in 30 minutes in that bridal atmosphere, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you know, you never want to feel like that. And I love that you say that, Jacqueline, because it is so important to just, that extra 10 or 15 minutes can be the most crucial thing that can stick in somebody's memory. That 10 extra minutes to let that client say to you, maybe if they want this one thing adjusted, it can open their wedding day. It's the most important day of their lives. And even if it is exactly how it was on the trial date, you know, there always might be that one thing like, oh, can you just do this one thing? And absolutely. So you have to make the time for that just in case. And them seeing that you made that extra time for them sticks in their brain so much more than rushing 30 minutes and saying, okay, you're done. Yeah. Not asking if you like it. Is there anything else I can do for you? Is this okay? You know, that is just, I feel like a lot of times in so many artists, it can lack, and it really is so important to do that. You know, it's not just about, okay, I think it looks great, you're done, bye, next. It's not what it's about.
It's already a stressful time, especially if it's a bride. I mean, they're already stressed to the max, even at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, right? It's like you just want to keep them calm and relaxed, and everything is, you know, kind of chill and slow. Of course, sometimes me inside, I'm like, oh, but I mean, honestly, that I love that. But like going into, because you kind of mentioned something a little bit about, you know, custom blend and things, but are there certain makeup lines or product lines that you like to use for your profession or for your services?
I really love, and let's be real, there's so many amazing products out there. I could pick a product from every line on the market that I like. Right. But I preferably like to use Motives Cosmetics just because of the quality The price point for the clients is great. It has a range of products for everyone, every skin type, and every skin color. And going into skin color, it is amazing to me how many makeup lines out there don't have the products for medium to dark skin.
It is.
It's incredible. So that's the reason why I mainly use that line. I really do love it, the quality, the ingredients, the price point. It's just the whole package, and I feel that for the working makeup artist, it is the best way to keep the income flowing towards you, too. Because when you do somebody's makeup and say, oh, I only use MAC, they love how they look, so guess where they're going to go afterwards? When you're done with their makeup, they're going to go to MAC and buy it, not from you.
Right.
So another reason why I chose the line.
Yeah, it is. It is so true. And, you know, I can't stress that enough about how retailing is so important for a makeup artist, because even if you don't sell, you're not a good seller, or you hate retailing, or any of this nonsense that I hear makeup artists say to me all the time, you know, it's funny because you're retailing. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care if you work on models
whether
only.
You think you are or not.
Yeah, you're retailing, whether you work on models primarily, if you work in the television and commercial industry, in film, bridal, everyday woman, body painting, like literally anything that you do in the makeup artistry industry, you are retailing. Because anything that somebody likes on you, on them, that you're putting on them, they're looking at what you're putting on them. They're looking at your spread. If you're using a certain skin prep on them, they're looking at it. They're looking at whatever is in front of them. They're watching carefully, even if they're not asking you about it. And then if they are asking you about it, you know for a fact they're going out to get it. And where is that money going? Not into your pocket, into somebody else's pocket. And you have to buy that makeup for your kit anyway, right? Just to if you're a busy makeup artist, or even if you're not, even if you're an aspiring makeup artist, you still need to buy makeup for your kit. So why not buy makeup that you can potentially retail to your clients that's high quality and retailable? Actually, you're allowed to retail it. But enough about that. I want to hear more about custom blend with you. Like, what's the importance of custom blend?
Custom blend is so important because, number one, it guarantees you a returning customer, because you are making it exactly how they want it. You can customize the ingredients for their skin type, their skin tone, which no department store can ever do for you. And it just gives that extra touch of a luxurious service. I mean, what other makeup artist do you know that, oh, I can make this for you? If you can't find this in the store, I can make that exact product for you. It just gives that extra wow factor to me that not other people can offer. And it's just an amazing tool. And it really can set up great customer loyalty, too, because they know that you're putting your love into making that product for them and making it exactly how they want it in exactly this formulation, you know. So I just think it's a big wow for people. It really is.
And the fact that I feel like most women have, well, I would say maybe 90% of them have issues finding the right foundation. I mean, I meet with so many people that are like, oh my gosh, I can't find the right color. I don't like the finish. This one makes me break out. I don't like the coverage on this. I'm looking for more coverage, but I don't want it to feel cakey. And they have all these foundation issues. And custom blend, honestly, you can create whatever they want. It is their formula. It's endless. So it is created for them, for what type of skin they have, what coverage they want, what finish they want, what color they have. You can tone, if their whole face is red, you can actually put green toner in. I mean, it's like, when we say customizable, it is like totally customizable. It can be liquid, it can be powder. I mean, it is so amazing. People are like, oh my gosh, like they send.
And the ingredients in the custom blend are incredible too. Incredible. Yeah. All natural, all mineral. Even the liquid is mineral. And I have had such amazing feedback from clients that have used the liquid foundation. Almost all of them get back to me and say that it makes their skin look better.
Yeah,
same.
And that's
same.
just it.
Yeah.
That's it. And it has very high pigment content in it as well. So you don't have to cake on the makeup, and you can still get a full coverage without it feeling, you know, because so many women, they're like, I don't want it to look like I have all this foundation on, but I want to cover this, or I want to, you know, whatever they have going on. And so to be able to do that and say, well, because it's highly pigmented, I don't think there's anything else on the market that you can get that's that pigmented that it will cover. So, and it's fun to mix. I know we were talking, like, once you really know how to mix and you know color theory, the possibilities are endless on what you can create as an artist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's so fun. It's like paint mixing. It really is. And that's the part that I love about it, that drew me into it. I legitimately think it is fun mixing because I love playing with colors and tones and textures. It's just, I love it. It's so fun.
It is so much fun. We actually have a question from Nasa from the Boston area. And Nasa asks, have you all had clients get a summer color and a winter color for custom blend?
Uh-huh.
And the answer is yes.
Okay.
I mean, most people, right, guys? Most people get a winter color
absolutely.
And a summer color. And some people get a winter color that is only liquid. And then some people get a summer color that is only powder. And some people get a winter that is liquid and then a separate powder. And then some people get in the summer a liquid and a separate powder again. You know, it's the sky's the limit here with these custom blends. So right. It's always return service.
With that too, where I live, it's winter right now. So a lot of times in the winter, they need a hydrator put in their foundation. But in the summer, they might have totally different skin. So it is good to, you know, look at that too. And it's like, what type of skin do you have this time of year? Because we can put treatments in to help hydrate or to help control the oil, or, you know, whatever it is they have going on, we can put those treatments right in. So yeah, definitely. I love it. And I was pointing to it before. Of course, I have it behind me. You know, I have it in a tower. So that's all that you have right there is the whole custom blend line. So it's a lot of fun. And I think everyone needs to at least check into it. And we have trainings globally to teach people how to do it. So I love it. But getting more into just the makeup line in general, so that it is really high quality and, you know, professional and things like that. So could it be used for bridal and everyday? And, you know, tell us about
that. The line can be used for absolutely everything. I absolutely love doing bridal makeup, and just the ready-to-wear products alone are absolutely endless when it comes to bridal. That's what I love about this brand. It has every single shadow and texture and foundation that you could need to do great. I mean, I swear to God, okay, and I'll just say this, that the Maven's palette, the Maven's Element Color Box
Element? Oh, don't even get me started on the Element palette. It's my favorite thing in the world.
That's what I'm wearing.
Now, if I didn't have my entire makeup kit, I could have that one eyeshadow palette, and I could do every single bridal look out there just with that one palette.
Yep.
That palette is incredible.
It's gorgeous.
It's fabulous.
It's gorgeous. It's so
fabulous.
gorgeous.
I might have it here. I've got it.
Bust that out.
Let me grab it. I've got it.
Oops. No, there she is.
Oh, there she is.
Uh-huh.
In all her glory. Look at that bad boy.
Beautiful. Yes, I'm wearing that today. I wear it probably.
I am too.
I don't know. 6
I
days
wear
a
it
week.
every day.
There's so many different colors in, and they're so like just pigmented, and it lasts forever. I mean, I've had that palette for a long time.
Oh, I know. And the size of the shadows, the pigment is amazing. I just love the texture of the shadows too. They blend like butter.
Oh, they really do. Oh, but they're so pigmented.
They do. Yes.
Amazing. They blend. They blend like butter, but they're still so incredibly pigmented. And I'm just looking over the questions area, and it looks like we got to most of them so far, anyway. And we do have a hello, beautiful ladies coming in from our favorite Monina.
Oh,
Hi, Monina.
Hi, hon. Aw.
So we had Munina on, you know, a few weeks ago or a couple months ago or something. So that was fun to have her on too.
Yes.
So what's our next question for Jessi, Leigh?
Well, I would love to know, like you said, that, you know, Motives gives you the ability to retail. So, you know, tell us about that. I know just because I'm coming from more of a salon background, there aren't a lot of lines that are available for the salon industry. And if they are, I never found a really great quality. And then you have, of course, the makeup industry side of it where they do give you a pro card for a discount, but you really aren't supposed to retail it. Like MAC, for instance, they do want you to be driven or to drive them back to the store. So tell us about Motives and how you're able to offer that to your customers.
Really, I love doing all of my personal one-on-one clients. I'll do a service, whether it's a bridal service or not. When they love how they look, they want to know every single thing that you put on them. And so really, I'm not saying that you don't have to retail, but the products really sell themselves. Like, I never feel like I have a hard sell to do, because once you have them in that state where they just love how they look, they feel so beautiful, they want to know what you put on them, and it's just it's very easy for them to want to buy everything that you put on them. And that's the whole beauty of it, though. I mean, and then of course, if you want to introduce them to new stuff, even if it's just one product, once you get their trust and gain that client relationship, you have the ability to then introduce them to more things. And when you have their trust and they love what you do and your professionalism, they will really gain such a trust in you. It's hard to explain. I know you two understand what I mean, but I'm trying to put it in the most simple way for maybe somebody who is a new aspiring makeup artist.
Yeah. Well, in the fact that
it always starts with the service.
It does. But too, I mean, Motives Cosmetics, actually, whoever we decide to work with, they get their own Motives Cosmetics website as well. So, you know, it's not like you have to carry this large stock of inventory. Your customers can actually just go to the site. You know, so.
Uh-oh. What just happened?
I can hear you, Jacqueline.
Okay, hold on. Let me see what happened to Leigh. Uh-oh. We can't hear you, Leigh. All right, well, we'll keep going. Leigh, we can't hear you. We are having technical difficulties, but I'm sure, as Leigh was going to say, was that you don't have to carry a large inventory. People can go right to your website, which is great because Motives does give you a website. That's fully functional e-commerce website that simply has your name at the end of it, and so people go there instead. And then what happens then is the client will purchase on that website, and then Motives, the company, will actually drop ship whatever they order directly to them, so that you don't have to be the middle person anymore. The company just sends it straight to your client, and so it's super easy. You just collect the retail profit from there. Leigh, are you back on?
I'm back.
Okay, welcome back, Leigh. We missed you.
Oh, goodness.
So yeah, so I think I finished saying what you were going to say.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think I just lost connection. So thank you for continuing that.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
So just we have a couple minutes left, and guys, if people who are tuning in live, you know, I want to remind you that if you do have any questions for us, please feel free to write them in. And if we do have an extra couple minutes at the end, we absolutely will get to your questions. So Jessi, I want you to just kind of circle back a little bit and tell us about how you were introduced to even the opportunity of being able to retail Motives to your client. It's not like you just all of a sudden, boom, we're partnered with Motives. So how did that kind of come about?
That started with my favorite lady, Ginger One, who is my mentor through all these 8 years. With transformation, she went out and she discovered this brand, and so then she brought it back to the studio and started letting me look at it, and I'm like, man, this is really good stuff. I love it. And so that's how it came about. She introduced me to it, and I'm like, you know what, I want a partner too for my business. And so I just felt the product and saw everything that it had to offer and the variety, and the fact that you don't have to carry 100 pounds of inventory on you, and it does help when you don't have to do that. So just the quality of the product, the price point, not having to carry all that inventory every single job that you go on. I was sold, and I loved it. And ever since then, I've always used the line, and I swear by it.
And I know that you also have had. I'm so sorry, Leigh. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say, it's great to find a line also that you actually can use everything from one line because it's all great, you know, rather than having to go to all these other lines. Because before I found it too, it was like, oh, I use this mascara from this line and this eyeliner from that line. And because Motives has such great products and quality, I love all of it, you know, so all of it, all in one line. Yeah. So go ahead, Jacqueline.
No, I was going to say, you know, we've talked offline, Jessi, and people that follow you on social media should also already know that you have had skin issues in the past, and how and I know you have a love affair, not so secret love affair, with one of the skincare lines that we have in the Motives umbrella, and also one of the health products that is also under the Market America, which is the parent company umbrella. So if you could just talk very, very little about that, just to give us an idea, because we're almost out of time, but I do want you to share.
All right. I preach to every single person about the Skintelligence skincare line, because first of all, that line can be used for every single skin type, but I personally had the most incredible transformation just using that line alone, and I swear by it. It just has incredible benefits, no fake scents, no perfumes, and it just brought my skin to have such a life to it. And when you have acne that's so bad, like, I mean, in the pictures that you've seen, and if anybody else has not seen them, I would advise to see them, because it really just transformed, and it lifts such a weight off of your shoulders, believe it or not, when you can finally clear it up. And you know, anybody out there that has skin issues or anything like that, you know what I mean, because it's a really hard struggle. It's hard because, you know, a lot of it can be genetic or stress or diet. It's so many different things that cause it. So when you can finally find that cocktail that works for you, it's a game changer. It really is. So the Skintelligence line, first of all, swear by it. And the OPC3 and the Beauty Blend and the Isotonics line combined, because that gives you the treatment for the inside, and the Skintelligence gives you the treatment on the outside. And especially a lot of times with skin issues, it comes from the inside. A lot of it does come from the inside. What you're eating, your stress, if you have an allergy to some certain type, whatever it is. But a lot of that comes from the inside. And the skincare really is the topping on the cake. It really is. So when you find that perfect top, that perfect frosting, it does the magic.
I love it. Yeah. So Jessi is talking about the Isotonics line. So really, Motives is just one sister company that is underneath the umbrella of Market America, and then another sister company is Isotonics. It's a sister line. And Isotonics is health and wellness, and it's vitamins and supplements. So that's what Jessi is talking about. And there are two vitamins in that line particularly that work beautifully with skin. And that's OPC3 and OPC3 Beauty Blend. Just beautiful vitamins. Love them to death.
Those are
them
just
both every single
amazing.
day.
even because when my mentor first started to be introduced to the business, she even started taking just the OPC3 alone. And a few days later, I'm like, man, your skin looks so good. What are you doing? And that's when she said she was using the OPC3.
Yeah.
So, of course, that intrigued me when my skin looked terrible, and so I had to get my hands on it. Had to.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is just another aspect of the business that partnering with Motives can actually expand for you, because if you partner with Motives, you are automatically partnered with all of these other sister and brother brands that Market America is, hovering over as the umbrella company. So if you are able to share with a client, or if a client shares with you their skincare woes, or what have you, or what kind of hair, skin, and nail vitamin do you recommend, or whatever they ask, which they always ask, they eventually ask, right? And then you can actually offer that to them and still collect a retail profit on those products, even if you're not focusing on them solely, because they're incredible. Okay, so it is 10:02. Are there any closing statements, Leigh, that we should be throwing out there right now?
Oh, we could talk for hours, but I know.
I know. It's going to shut me up sometimes.
No, we just, we're like that. Like when we get professionals together, it's like, oh my God, which is why, again, we're series, because honestly, we all, everyone that we network with has so much knowledge, and I've learned things from you, Jessi, and all of our guests, and I just love that we all work together and help each other, and it's so valuable. And going into this next year, it's like if we can just help more professionals just have really a good, lucrative career, because honestly, that's what it's about. You have to be successful to the point where you can make this a great career and, take it to whatever level you want. So I just appreciate you being here. And
yes. Thank you so much.
Too. Yeah.
Thank you.
And make sure you guys all follow all of us. Jacqueline put, where you can find us on social media, and continue to follow us, because we will keep on doing these webinars as long as we feel like it. So, so definitely follow us, and we always post who we're going to be interviewing next. And of course, you can also find recordings on our YouTube channels. Jacqueline and I both have YouTube channels, so go ahead and watch past guests that we've had too. But thank you so much, Jessi.
Yes, Jessi,
thank you for having me.
Much. Yes, you're welcome. Yeah. Thank you so much. And guys who are tuning in, if you want to learn more about anything that we've talked about tonight, or if you have any questions for us, make sure that you go ahead and contact us if you'd like, or if you want to know more about Motives, contact whoever forwarded you this link, or who invited you to register for the webinar. Okay, so thank you again, and we will see you next time. Thanks again, Jessi. You were awesome.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Good night. Thank you, Leigh.
See you in Miami.
See you in Miami.
See you then.
Bye. Great.